All right, ladies, let's jump into it. The U.S. Women's National Team played Chile tonight after coming off of a dominating win against Paraguay 6-0. And of course, Emma Hayes changes the lineup once again. Average cap for this lineup is 5 across the board. She gives 2 players their debuts, of course, 2 more caps. She has 32 caps in 32 matches with our dear Emma Hayes. Let's take a look at the lineup. First, in the back, Claudia Dickey getting the nod left to right. Kate Wiesner, Hal Hirschfeld, Emily Sams with the captain's armband at center back. Ayo Oke at that right back position. In the midfield, we have Riley Jackson, Sam Meza, Croix Bethune, and up top, we have Emma Sears Jameese Joseph and Yasmin Ryan. Now, Lori, because you were on the show last time when we looked at the lineup from Paraguay, was this kind of what you expected? The unexpected from Emma Hayes with her lineup?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it, the unexpected, because I never know what to expect, especially when she's rotated quite a bit, but also has had young players in. But yeah, I was excited to see heavily rotated squad. I mean, obviously, these are what these January camps are for, is to see as many players. And we heard them say it a number of times on the broadcast that it's going to look very different. You're going to get the European players back. You're going to get some of the Gotham players that will be called in for the She Believes Cup. So now is the time for them to be able to be rotated and give these players opportunity. And another great game. I felt like a lot of these players showed really well. And early goals, I think, helped them calm their nerves, settle into this game, and start to find their groove.
I love that we got early goals this game.
Yeah.
I won't lie. It kept me in tune at this A3 After Dark show. It was exciting. There was a lot of firsts.
Are you saying it would have just been Allie and I on this? Because we'd be like, where's Darian?
Yeah. And my bed's right there. Just No, they kept me hyped. I was very entertained, and I think we saw a lot of growth from last game. But Al, I wanted to ask you, because it seemed like the U.S. didn't click against Paraguay until we got the goal initially. Go Bruins! But what do you think Emma Hayes was telling her team going into this match that maybe she wanted to build off of last week? Like, what was this is what we need to do from minute 1? Because it just seemed like they had so much more energy at the start of this game.
I'm sure energy was an emphasis, but I think her messaging the whole time has been so consistent. We're focusing on us. We have our tactics, our game plan, the style of play. This is what we want to implement. And so the players who got the chance to start this game, I feel like there's really good pressure on individuals. What can you show when you get your opportunity? And it's not the type of pressure like, if you don't perform well in this camp, you won't make the World Cup roster. Like, we're not in do or die here. These are players who, if they don't make the World Cup, they will get chances, and they're so young and they have such bright futures. But it is like, what can you do with this opportunity? Can you show me? And I think we saw a couple players really thrive under this type of opportunistic pressure, and they were able to really take it in stride. I won't ruin the surprise. I know who you want to talk about, Darian, but I think this has been like, enjoy it. And to have, 14,000+ in Santa Barbara,
sold out, baby.
Sold out, a venue that they talked about so much. Julie Foudy was there in 91, and just the energy was electric. And getting an early goal, I think, to see Croix use her body, stay on her feet, it just that sets the tone. And they looked like they were having a lot of fun. And the players who came on, they also looked like they were having fun. I'm still chuckling about Emma dancing. So I think it felt like this good occasion. It's the end of the camp, and it's like, go out and show me your strengths, have confidence. And I feel like they did that.
Yeah, we have to give so many flowers to Emma Hayes, because there are so few. We all played professionally. You both played at a full national team level, but there are so few and far in between coaches that allow you to have fun, that make it so it's structured, but they want to see you be your best self on the pitch. And that happens when you're enjoying it, when you let go of that pressure, you roll off of mistakes. And I think we got to see that from the jump from this lineup tonight. It didn't feel as tight as it did in the first game. And of course, we got a lot of firsts. The first 3 goals, Croix Bethune, Jameese Joseph, Emily Sams, all got their first goals with the U.S. Women's National Team. so incredible. Emily Sams captaining the team as well after a big move to Angel City, coming off winning a
things
championship
we
with
love
Orlando.
to see.
I mean, you guys got a gem over there in
Oh,
Angel
yeah.
City.
Oh, yeah.
But looking at this, I mean, I feel this is such a credit to how Emma Hayes has made these players feel so confident to be able to come in. And to me, Croix Bethune was one of those players that from the jump, I was like, oh, she's making things happen. And Laura, I know you love her as well and love watching her, but how deep is this player pool now that Emma Hayes has created? I mean, the next camp is more pressure. You're playing bigger, more competitive competition. But you look at this and I'm like, oh, damn, the kids are all right.
Oh my God. I was thinking that same thing. I was like, first of all, we were talking about Raylan Turner the other night and the combination between her and Sitnor, and then when Croix came in, and just the combination between the center forward and the attacking midfielder, and then Jameese Joseph comes in and plays like that. So I'm like,
I thought she was so good.
She was fantastic.
Electric.
Like, and I've seen her since she was at NC State, and I loved her at NC State. I mean, she just blew people out of the water, and she has so many skills that we're not even seeing, like her ability to go 1v1. Like if she gets faced up and takes players on, lights out. Tonight was more obviously not a ton of room, but I felt like, well, backing up, one of the things I thought was going to be interesting tonight, and I'm glad the goals came early because Chile did seem to sit back. They were much more compact. There wasn't a ton of room early on, especially in the 18-yard box. So I felt like it was going to limit space for Croix, for Jameese Joseph, but credit to them. I thought those two in particular, the movement was fantastic.
Yeah.
And also Jackson and Meza behind them kept the ball moving. And so it did alleviate some of the pressure that typically would clog up if you hang on to the ball too long. So, but I felt like Croix and Jameese Joseph played off one another incredibly well, opened up space. And, but yeah, Croix continues to impress. I think even in the Jameese goal, she's pointing, right? She's pointing, she's making the run, and she's like, I'm just the decoy, play Jameese. And it was a fantastic turn. So, yeah, it's so deep. I'm concerned for Emma because I don't know how you make these. And I think things will start to like iron out, right? We'll start to see as time comes and you have to make those important decisions. But right now, given the environment, to both of you, your point, it seems like everybody's having a great time. And that's just making the decision, and it's making the decision harder and elevating everybody's play, which is 100% what you want at the national team level.
I think
Champagne problems.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And you look at, there are players, I think of someone like Riley Tiernan. There are other players in the league who had great seasons who I could also picture out there scoring goals. Like, this shows the depth of the national team. It also should be very motivating and inspirational and kind of, give you a bit of excitement if you are a young talent in this league, because Emma is showing that if you do well, I will call you in. And we go back to what you were saying, Darian, about how Emma is instilling these feelings in these players, but the U.S. has created an opportunity, which is a privilege to be able to do it. And it is because of the structure of the season and the timing, in the calendar year. Not everyone can play in this window. That is why the roster looked the way it did. But to use the opportunity when you have domestic players, when you have this depth, to have a camp in this window, I just think too, it is a creative way. Of course, they could have a camp and not play a game, and they could do an inner squad, or they could, get more players in and not find an opposition. But I do think it's so valuable to actually have a game. It's great for the fans. And again, the players should be chomping at the bit who had good seasons and didn't get called into this camp.
Right.
But Emma's showing like she is always watching.
Agree with that.
Yeah. Homegirl's got eyes everywhere. But I love that the U.S. wasn't for so long. I think, Laura, you were in an era too where it was so difficult to break into that nebula of what the U.S. Women's National Team was. You couldn't buy a cap
before. Like,
it's
really different.
And also it was the contracts, how that was set up is because it really limited the amount of people as well. So that in turn just made it really challenging for people
literally
to
couldn't buy a contract.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And then once you were in, it was hard to be taken away. So it was like you were demanded to play at that level, but it limited the just the exposure, right? But
Mhm.
also just the eyes that were in the ability to bring players in, which was just unfortunate because we've obviously always had a ton of depth. And I was thinking about that tonight, just watching. I'm just like looking at, and we spoke about Kate Wiesner for Washington. And when Gabby Carl went down, I think it was a quarterfinal game this year in the playoffs, Kate Wiesner had to step in immediately and then played the next two games. Now, she had played a number of minutes, so it wasn't like, okay, this is out of the ordinary or anything. But I'm just looking at this player that initially in a quarterfinal game wasn't starting for her club team,
Yeah.
and then gets to start in this January camp. And it just shows, one, how important the league is, because it's exposing these players to the ability to be able to play week in and week out at the highest level that we obviously, the three of us know. But then also it's giving them a chance for Emma Hayes to be able to call them in, and they're ready. They feel confident. And I was just thinking, and her in particular, Kate Wiesner, just like, this is amazing. This is what what the national team is about, right? It's about you're performing well with your club team and you get rewarded. And how deep this player pool is, that might look different going forward, but still they're getting rewarded. And that's what the national team is all about.
You also mentioned Meza and Riley Jackson. Like, that it's hard to get noticed when your team is not having to defend. Like, when you're in a midfield role, Croix obviously is higher up the pitch. And that's how well they played, I think, that we're able to notice the consistency, finding passes, finding pockets. And then you even have, obviously, we have to give a shout out to Hal stepping in at center back and doing a great job, breaking up the few passes Chile did have in their attacking half. And then Emily Sam's like, oh, how are you really going to make a huge impact as a center back in a game like this? Oh, well, you score a goal and have an assist, So I feel like
great ball for that assist, too. I was like,
your chances. Again, great news for Angel City fans.
It's massive. But talking about Emily Sams, actually, like, from a grand scheme, I love what you're both saying, because it is so hard to get chemistry with people in a pressure cooker of an environment that you're not training with their long periods of time. It takes, in a season, it takes a couple months to get that. You get a preseason. A lot of these players have just played against each other in the league, but today it was so fun, like you said, between Hal and Emily and Meza and Jackson, and these little connections, and Croix just finding chemistry with everybody on the pitch. Like, this is Emma Hayes in action, and I absolutely love it. But I want to give some flowers to your Angel City girl, because Allie, what a big deal it is to not only wear the captain's armband, get a start at a center back position with the U.S. Women's National Team, but then come in, score a goal, and get an assist. How big of a deal is that for Emily Sams?
It's a testament to who she is as a player and as a person, obviously. And I loved how in her interview with Julie Foudy before the game, they're talking about, oh, like, what advice did Trinity give you? Like, Trinity, who also just got to captain the team. And these players are so humble, and she has had an incredible couple of seasons. She is so deserving of this attention and this role, but it's always about the team. It's always wanting to hold the standard. And even hearing Riley Jackson speak about just the legacy that the players who came before have left, and wanting to represent that and represent the future. And everyone just is so well-spoken. And Emily, she clearly has Emma Hayes's trust, and you could just see she has so many skills. She can contribute in so many ways. And I mean, at some point the US was playing like a 2-5-3, and you had you had both fullbacks high, you had Emily Sams high. But I think that should give her a lot of confidence going into the season, going into a new team, missing the beginning of preseason. That is one thing about this camp. I know Angel City, they're bummed that their players are missing this first 10 days or so, for good reason, of course. But it is kind of like, okay, you want to get something extra good out of this opportunity, because you're missing your chance to make that first impression and be there and be a leader with your new team. And she did that tonight, and that should make her feel so good and so proud. And I just think everyone will be so excited to welcome her with open arms, and she's going to play a huge role this season for Angel City. So hopefully this just makes her feel really, really good and excited. And now, just being a couple hours up the road from her new home.
Whew, Angel City, get ready, because Emily Sams rocking the captain's armband tonight, getting a goal and an assist, and she's going to be playing in your backyard soon. We can't wait to see it.
Gosh.
And we also got goals not only from Bethune, from Jameese Joseph, Emily Sams. We also got goals from Emma Sears and Trinity Rodman. Can we talk about Emma Hayes doing the sexy Dexy?
Oh
my
gosh.
Cackled. It was so funny.
It was so funny.
Julie was talking about it right before Trinity came in, had to score, and Emma said she regretted a little bit not doing it. And then as soon as you saw Trinity score, she bypassed. She made a new PR for speed.
Yes.
Running over to Emma Hayes. Counted her down, and then
it was so good. And then for the next 5 minutes, while the game is like getting set up again, Emma's just like turned away from the field, talking to the staff, being like, what have I done? Was it bad? It was bad.
I want it to be like a meme where they put different music to it and they just have Emma. It is so good.
No, I was cackling.
The run though from Trinity, both are right. It's like she didn't even like really celebrate, just beelined it over to Emma. Like, here we go.
New max speed.
And the bench was all lined up along the boards watching. So many good angles, multiple angles.
It's such a highlight. I love it. We're going to
really
see
was
all over the internet.
Goals, but
I hope for the pod, I hope that that's like the title cover for this episode is Emma Hayes doing the sexy Dexy.
Let's make that happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's also talk about some other players that stood out to us, actually on the pitch, not just Emma Hayes. One to me that I was just fawning over. She only played 45 minutes. Ayo Oke, you guys. What? This is your first camp. She was playing at UCLA, went and played in Pachuca for a season. Now is with Denver Summit, gets called in as soon as she moves into Denver, gets brought into camp, plays an electric 45 minutes.
I have goosebumps.
And what's also wild is she actually wasn't even invited into this camp originally. Avery Patterson was called in and then is sick, I guess. And then gets called in. I'm like, what? That was amazing.
Yeah.
First of all, her assist was awesome.
Opportunity.
Exactly. I'm excited for Denver Summit now.
They are thrilled.
This is what you're building?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with unknowns, right? When you have expansion teams come in, you never know. And now I'm like, get me there.
We know.
Okay.
Now we
know now.
Yes.
No, I thought she was so good. And off camera before we started the show, I said it almost felt like Crystal Dunn. I saw moments of Dunny in Ayo's.
What a compliment.
She was so good defensively.
Yeah, so dynamic.
I was confused. Was she playing wingback? Was she a winger at certain points? Doesn't matter. She was up high. Her ability to whip crosses in, pick players out on a dime with texture. Her assist to Croix through traffic against the grain. Her vision to even see that run. I mean, to me, she was electric the first half. Anytime the ball went to her, I was waiting to see what decision she was going to make because hardly any were ever wrong. And she just is one of those players that you can see is 2 steps ahead of the game. And I think that's why that connection with Croix was happening so early on, because they have that similar technicality in their brains of how they see the pitch. And I loved it. She's a player I have to give flowers to. Also, go Bruins.
No,
I think now. I can't help it.
Also, we talk about how these players haven't had a lot of time to get to know each other, right? Like the cohesion, and we saw it a little in the first game. Like things take time. They should take time. And when you're talking about the relationship, when you have Oke and Bethune, and that shows when you know what you're doing. It shouldn't really matter if you know the game plan, you know your strengths, you know how to play your role, and you're able to make the people around you look good. You're able to connect because you're that good, like you're that girl. And so I think that really showed. It didn't matter that she wasn't called in originally. It didn't matter, if she was only going to get 45. It didn't matter that she hadn't had an opportunity to play with these players before, because she is really, really good. And that I'm really, really excited for her that she took this opportunity and showed, because this doesn't necessarily mean anything for, we're looking at She Believes, we're looking at so many players come back. There is competition in those positions, but she answered questions. There's going to be some really good notes next to her name. And I think we will see her again. And I mean, what an opportunity with a new team to really play a huge role.
Yeah. Shout out to Charles Need 9881 in the chat. He said, Ayo fit into play really well. She looked like she had been there before. Mm-hmm. And she really did. This looked like her 5th or 6th camp, not her first, where she's called in the day before camp starts.
Yeah.
And is filling a role. But I love it. Love more competition. Depth with all caps for Emma Hayes. Champagne problems for her.
They have the backing to be who they really are, to be themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the biggest key for these players to be able to showcase. And I'm thinking about Sam Ewis and Becky just talking about the game from Saturday too. And they were talking about, like, we even spoke, Darian, about the full volley that Trin attempted on Saturday. God. But they were saying the only other player that would typically do that would be Meg Rapinoe. But it is.
Absolutely.
It's like you're seeing the confidence, you're seeing the swagger, and like Trin has always had that. But now we're feeling like it's back, right? And I just feel like with the captain's armband, even more of like the team behind her in the sense that like she is a leader as well. And so, yeah, it's just freaking fun. It's like
it's that why not energy. Like, yeah, I'll do it.
Keep going. But to your point too, the last thing I'll say is I felt like dating back to 2024, we started seeing her refine like her game in general, the types of crosses that she was sending in, much more difficult to defend, using defenders to bend the ball around them. And now we're just seeing that across the board in terms of her finishes. You were mentioning just like the touch and or Darian, whoever was mentioning it, but regardless, there's an extra layer to the way that she's playing, and she's bringing other players in, but obviously she always has the ability to be lights out and take players on herself too.
Yeah. What a perfect way to end this camp and this period of this unrest and the back and forth and just so much kind of angst about, her name was in the media every single day for so many days. And for all of that to be done, she said it was a relief. She looks happy. She's dancing with the coach, the whole league. I guess not the defenders who have to defend against her, but everyone is so happy that this got resolved. And it just felt like a celebration of all of that being done going into this new season, and a healthy and happy Trinity Rodman is what she deserves and what we all want for her. So it was really great to just cap it all off with a banger.
Cap it all off with a banger, and she almost had another volley.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, she can kick the ball so hard.
Oh my god. You're right though, Lori. There's so few players that even think of doing that, and Megan Rapinoe and Trinity Rodman.
Exactly. Here we go.
Yeah, I love it.